In this week's look at the Decision Desk HQ 2022 election forecasting model, we have 3 Senate races rated as toss-up as a familiar name returns to the category. These are 3 seats that the Republicans likely need to gain control of the Senate come November. The Democrats have made some inroads in our House predictions, but overall the Republicans remain the strong favorites come November, regardless of what happened last Tuesday. We also have some news about this video series as we look ahead to the post-Labor Day homestretch of these campaign seasons. I'm Dr. Liberty Vittert. Let's take a look at all of the numbers. Welcome to this week's Decision Desk HQ 2022 election forecasting model, where we use our proprietary model to forecast the outcome this November of every single seat in the House and the Senate, and which party is going to win the majority in both. I'm Dr. Liberty Vittert, Professor of Data Science, so let's dive into this week's model. In the Senate, we're still projecting a 62% chance of a 50-50 tie in January, which would obviously leave the Democrats in control. That's basically the same place as we were last week. But as far as race ratings go, we have some changes that fare well for Republicans and might show them cutting into this Democratic scene lead. Pennsylvania returns to the toss-up category after 2 new polls in the Keystone State, named by Thomas Jefferson, were released this week. They both favored Democrat John Fetterman to flip the seat from Republicans, but they found a much narrower margin than previous polling, so the DDHQ polling average drops down to 4.9% and leads the rating change of toss-up from leans Democrat. Democratic-held Nevada and Republican North Carolina are the other 2 toss-up states. Both have stayed pretty stable since our last update, but new polls are leaning Republican, so we'll wait to see if those ratings change at all. Let's go beyond the toss-ups and take a look at races we have as lean for either party. This is a super interesting one. In Ohio, our polling average shows Republican J.D. Vance with a 3-point lead over Democratic Congressman Tim Ryan. There were 2 new polls this week in the race showing the Republican the lead. They're the first 2 of the year showing Vance with any advantage over Tim Ryan. We have Vance with a 78% chance to hold this seat, which is sort of shockingly low given how much Ohio leans red, and one would think that he'd have a much stronger hold. The other 2 lean races are in Georgia and New Hampshire, and we give Democrats a 68 and 71% chance, respectively, to hold these seats. But unfortunately, we don't have any new polling this week in either race. Overall, Republicans likely need to win all 3 toss-up races in November to win control of the Senate, which is a big mountain to climb, but possible. So let's move over to the House. Republicans have an 83% chance of holding the majority in January, and that's down from an 86% chance last week. Right now, we're looking at 232 Republican seats compared to 203 seats for the Democrats. That's +2 for the Democrats over the last week, which is definitely of note, except this is the kind of week-to-week variation we'd expect to see when we run so many simulations of what could happen. It's also partially attributable to the slight drop in the Republicans' advantage in the generic ballot. This week's it's at 1.5%, which is down from over a 2% lead last week. Tuesday's primaries might have had something to do with it. In this week's model, we identify 11 toss-up House races, and 8 of the 11 races feature Democrat incumbents or in Democratic districts. So the fight is totally on Democratic turf still. That being said, 4 of our 5 biggest moving House races moved towards the Democrats. You can see the full list of our race ratings, including all the toss-ups, on our website, as well as the details of why, which we'll link below in the description right below here. That's going to do it for this week. If you're enjoying these videos, please give it a like, then subscribe to our channel and sign up for notifications when we post one of these looks at our model or primary night preview videos. We'll be back next week with another look at where things stand, but on a different day. As we've talked about several times during this series, we expect the number of polls to increase the closer we get to Election Day. So starting next week, we're going to be releasing these videos on Tuesdays, primaries, Election Day, easy to remember, so we can include as many polls as possible that are released over the coming weekends in these analysis videos so that your analysis is as up to date as it possibly can be. Until then, I'm Dr. Liberty Vittert. Enjoy the end of your summer holidays. Sorry to say that. And thank you so much for watching.